trying samples like in the grocery store, bounce on it a couple times. That's not a right fit for me. Welcome to the Matriarchy podcast. We're here. I'm REZ. This is ZO, and we're gonna get started. We're drinking. ZO actually doesn't smoke anymore, and it's like the most disturbing thing to me because I can't imagine a world where I'm not smoking. And so how long has it been since you stopped smoking?
I stopped smoking the 17th of September.
Oh my gosh, wow. So almost a month.
Yeah, I'm sober now.
How does it feel?
I bite my nails a lot. I struggle a lot with my anxiety. I struggle a lot with being patient with my mother. Everything is harder because when you have weed, you're just like, I'm just going to roll up. That's just what I'm going to do. And now I have to like, I'm drinking a lot more than I should.
Definitely. Because you didn't drink. Like, it was like almost impossible to get you to drink.
This was Corona that taught me to drink. And then on top of Corona, I had to stop smoking.
Now, why did Corona make you start drinking? What was that?
Well, quarantine. A lot of people that I would text, they would be like, oh, we don't have no more weed. Or, you know, it's Corona. Like, you know. So I could get weed, but it wasn't as you know, as often as I would before. Like, as available as it was before. So
definitely.
It turned into something that I had to find an alternative.
Yeah.
And so I did. Cheers to that.
Now drinking, we're much more responsible. So we don't have to deal with as much the backlash. Like when we were like younger and we were drinking, like it would mean a whole bunch of misery. Like the next morning you have a hangover, you're sick, you're vomiting. Like
4 people would be throwing up out of the tent.
You can't pay me to drink vodka at this point in my life. But you also probably couldn't pay me to stop smoking weed because I like who I am. Like when I'm not smoking is just like I personally feel like it's not a good person. Like I don't like myself. Like and I'm always telling people like you wouldn't like me, but you actually did like me when I wasn't even smoking weed. Because like when we first met,
like
we were in
young, general,
right? Like so like we. But that's like usually what I tell people. I'm like it like I'm not nice. Do you remember when I tried Sober October, and I keyed this guy's car?
I didn't know you were sober.
I keyed a car. I spit on someone. So,
but you know what? You said nobody could pay you to smoke, but I don't think that's true. If you're about to make a lot of money for a job, you would stop.
That's true.
A lot of bread, good ass benefits.
That's true.
Pay to relocate.
I'm thinking we could put our drinks on this because I actually hear like. You have to hear it. It sounds like
it's really loud.
A person in a cell.
Oh fuck! It sounds like God came and closed the door. Left Behind.
You remember that movie? Oh my gosh! I thought about that movie lately because
we were talking about it with your friend.
Right. And at my job, they play a lot of Halloween music now because it's spooky season and everybody's singing the songs. And I don't know them.
You know the songs?
I don't know them.
I didn't know there were Halloween songs.
No, from movies. There are movies, Halloween movies.
I wasn't allowed to like dress up, go to school, do anything for Halloween. I had to like lay in my bed, act dead for Halloween.
Yeah, same. Because
Satan was alive.
Satan was alive. The spirits were out haunting. The church would sometimes do Halloween associated activities, but they would just call it like candy night.
Right.
Like something like that.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It wasn't, my church wouldn't do that, but I've been to other people's churches who did that. But like my church was like the pastor would write us a note like she cannot go to school today. Like
to not have to go and participate in like the Halloween
we weren't allowed
parade.
to even see people's costumes. I wasn't allowed out on Halloween.
That's so interesting. But how do you feel about it now? Like, do you dress up?
Oh my God, I want to be Maleficent so bad. Can you imagine me as Maleficent? I would be kind of so perfect.
Cute. One of the most memorable moments of Maleficent is when like somebody came to her and told her that they had good news, and she goes, "Don't ruin my day.
Don't ruin my morning.
Don't ruin my morning."
I love her.
Such
a good job in both of the movies. And the second one is so
Angelina Jolie. She's a stunner star. She murdered
10
everything.
out of 10. Top tier.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
On top of being amazingly. Yeah. We stan Angelina Jolie.
We do.
Is she still with Brad Pitt?
I hope not. Fuck men.
No, I kind of liked her with Brad Pitt because in Mr. and Mrs. Smith they were like fighting and they were like both so smart.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith was the bomb.
I love the idea of like being matched with a person who was like just as smart as me or like even smarter and having to be like challenged by
usually
that.
like a person or they like you or you're attracted to a person, it's usually, and you actually get to like have a moment with them, like you talk to them or you go on a date with them, you're usually on the same level. Like you're usually as attractive to one another, you know, like you don't usually end up with people who are like below you and stuff.
So do you believe in
attractiveness
leagues?
But I don't think about like smartness. I don't think that's how it works.
Do you believe in leagues? Like, do you ever see someone on social media and you're like, damn, that person's hot, but they're out of my league? Like, or like someone hits you up and you're like, you fucking bum.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
People say that leagues aren't real, but there is, I mean, the Bible says do not be unequally yoked.
Yeah.
So there's like a certain amount of just making sure that a person is on the same wavelength as you, like is on the same communication style as you. Because I find a lot of times someone will be complaining about their partner and like their partner's ways or patterns. And I'm like, I mean, they're not wrong for being that way. It's just a different wavelength that they're vibrating on.
And not only that, but I'm pretty sure they were that way when you met them. And we're so distracted by so many other things that we don't even bother to get to know the person to the extent that we should before we're like, I'm your girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend.
We'll completely ignore red flags. Do you have any red flags like that you know that you blew past and like that you have like, I will not ignore this again?
For me, honestly, it's the relationship that the party has with their mother.
Wow.
You know, or like the person who raised them, because sometimes, you know, people don't have their moms, but it would probably be that for me. Like it's really telling. It's telling to me because like that person was literally, you were like not unconscious, but unable to care for yourself, and that person was like doing everything for you. So the way that you treat them, it matters.
First of all, for me personally, if I see you curse at your mom, like you get like if you're throwing like vicious anger at your mom, that's scary to me.
I guess if I can make it clear, I guess it would be the way that your mom or whoever your person who raised you is treats you.
Ooh, you don't want no big fucking baby.
Yeah, like I don't want no big fucking baby, but I also don't want someone who their mom is like, all right, well, make sure you do it this way or make sure you do it that way. Like don't come around here with that.
Anal.
Yeah, like about them. You know, like, I don't, you know, I know that you do this, and that. So they'll always pay attention to the mannerisms of that person, that mother, the guardian, because, you know, it's telling. They will tell you, like, you can read between the lines as to, like, what this person is faulty at.
Right.
Their mom already knows their ways.
So
don't ignore that. Don't ignore that. And also friends. I don't care. You know, like how they say birds of a feather. Like,
flock together?
Yeah. Like, okay. Like, yes. Yes, like
do.
Honestly, like I guess when it comes to me, I can't speak for everyone else, but I honestly feel like the people that are around me and that are close to me, we share the same sort of values. Like if I tell you I'm doing one thing, you're not gonna be like, oh, why would you do that? That's terrible. No, you would be like, oh, okay, I see that.
And if you don't, it's intentional. Like maybe areas where you're trying to grow, like where people are like challenging you, but in a positive, aligned.
The people I keep around me, we have the same values instilled in us. Like, you know, like I just feel that way. And I feel like when I meet people, I either click with them or I don't. Like you can get that feeling right off bat. Like birds of a feather flock together.
So if your partner has bad friends, like, or your partner's friends are like, they're always coming to you like, bro, my man, he's cheating on his girl. My other man, he's cheating on his girl. Like you'll start to think like, well, what the fuck are you doing with these people? You get suspicious. Because honestly, like,
this is the thing for me. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're my man and all your friends are married and have kids and are cheating on their wives, that's the girl that sucks his dick at night. Mm-hmm. She puts him to bed with that. She had his kids and he's doing her dirty. And you holding your man down, you still calling that your friend. You're not saying, yo, what about your family? Yeah. Just divorce her. You sat at his wedding and saw him make that promise? No, absolutely not. If it was just two parties, like in a relationship, no kids, no family, no house, no marriage, it's different. But when you saw your friend go through all of this, make this marriage, make this family, and you're letting them literally fuck up their kids, mess with their wife's head, and you know that, it's like, yo, you got to call them out on that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, birds of a feather flock together, but it gets to a point where if you see your person is the type of person to sit someone down and, you know, it's different. You know what I mean? To settle them down and kind of point out, hey, don't do that. But usually they don't do that. They'd be like, oh no, that's my bro. Like, yeah, I mean, that's what he does. Like, no.
Right.
No, it's children. It's livelihood. Like, it's trauma to children when that shit happens. You know?
Right. Everybody involved is traumatized after that. Like,
and nobody thinks about that. Nobody thinks about the kids. Nobody thinks about the reality of the situation. Like, we get it. You really like her. You needed to fuck her. You made a mistake. That's great. Yeah, like, woo, woo. But that's, you have to act on that. You have to.
Like, you have to have some moral compass. Something has to make you say, like, what are you deciding that you're going to keep your friends around based on? Like, if a person is doing something personally that I find inappropriate repeatedly or behaving in a way, like having a friend who's racist. Like, if I'm hanging out with a white person and then all of a sudden they say nigga, like, that's not my homie no more. Like, your morals are compromised and I can't fuck with you. And It goes the same way as if you're like, you're married and you're cheating, like, you're a serial cheater in a marriage.
And like I said earlier, if that is the girl, if you the homie and your homie gets his dick sucked by his girl and that's who fucks him, that's who cooks for him, that's who washes his clothes, that's who cleans his house, all that shit, how he's gonna do you? Why you want to be his friend, bro? Why you want to be his friend?
Well, to be honest with you, okay, this is when the homoerotic behavior comes in. Because to be honest with you, so my friend introduced me to this word, homoerotic, right? And it's not the same as homosexual. But it's just this idea that
they love each other.
Men, they love each other.
They do things for the clothes they buy, the shit they wear, the way they cut their hair, when they go wow and they get drinks and do this shit showing off. It's not for bitches.
It's not always about women, yo. Sometimes they just be wanting to stun on other niggas. They just be wanting to push it in other niggas' faces. And it's like,
they love each other.
You guys are obsessed with each other.
They'll do their homies better than they do the girl who's at home sucking their dick.
That's really true. Like, they'll never snitch on their homie. They'll never like do like basic shit that is like, if that's your homie, you don't do this, you don't do that. They won't do that.
Just say you love each other. If you loved each other, just say that.
Right. They get upset with each other. They'll send like long text messages to each other. Like, they'll go back and forth. They'll have arguments. They'll be talking for hours. But like, you as this woman, like, you want to talk to him about something and he's like, bro, like, come on.
You're so sensitive. Like, I'm just getting home. Like, I just got off work. Like, all right, suck my dick then.
Right, honestly. But then you get a fake dick and you're asking them to suck it and they don't want to do it.